As we mentioned earlier, protests are planned throughout the week at the Democratic National Convention calling for an end of U.S. aid to Israel and its war with Hamas. CBS News correspondent Lilia Luciano joins me right now, and I can see a crowd sort of building up behind you. Lilia, set the scene for us in terms of where you are and what's happening.
Hey there, Drika. So what happened earlier was there was a rally followed by a march that went on very peacefully. Protesters ended up around this area, and apparently a group of protesters were able to use what we heard were sledgehammers to breach that part of the wall that you see there. As you can see, there are some holes on what is that perimeter fence that was created to keep the protests outside and away from the area of the arena where the DNC is taking place. So once they breached the fence, some protesters got through and started manifesting and chanting on that side. At that point, a group of police not in riot gear approached, were telling them to move. People weren't moving. And then a group of, as you see, these riot gear police from Chicago PD who are wearing these light blue helmets were able to assemble and start pushing the crowds in and telling people to move away. Protesters started saying, come out, come out. Some of them remained. A few were detained, but it was a small number of them. The majority were able to be pushed, or police were able to push them to come back through the fence, and things remained peaceful. We haven't seen any deployment of tear gas or anything of that nature, but right now, actually, we're seeing a large number of more riot gear police over here.
Oh, wow.
As you can see, now we're talking about dozens of officers wearing these vests. So now this is what it looks like. They're going to be clearing this area where there's just a few protesters remaining from the thousands that had been there. We had heard some protesters say just a minutes ago, okay, more police are coming. They're coming behind you. If you don't want to be part of a confrontation, leave now.
Yeah.
And of course, as we can see now, people are rushing there. A lot of what's happening here, of course, is media getting these images of the police in riot gear. This is historic memory from the 1968 protests. A lot of people have been saying, will it be a similar kind of confrontation of violence between protesters and police? And clearly, there's a lot of media that want to make sure that we don't miss any images, that police are respecting, as they said they would, people's freedom of speech. But as they have been saying, as the mayor has been saying, they're not going to tolerate violence or vandalism. And of course, a breaching of the fence is considered vandalism. We are, of course, standing by here, seeing what will happen, but this is a large number of officers who have been trained on de-escalation, who have been following what the mayor, what the superintendent has been saying, that they want to protect people's rights, freedom of speech, their rights to protest, and people have done so far for the very most part, or entirely peacefully. But, you know, as the night progresses, we've covered many of these protests. Anything can happen, and we'll continue to monitor. But right now, where we are, the police presence is far, far greater.
That's right. And this is just day one. Lilia Luciano on the ground for us there. Thank you so much.
Right.